And of course,
Right.
Shepard crouches, because Alt is crouch.
No!
Don't shoot the Normandy.
You plonker.
Don't call me a plonker. What are you, a fucking Philistine with your fucking Only Fools and Horses David Jason crap? No respect. I think he's a cunt. I think he's a cunt and I can't wait for him to die. Enter the Normandy. It's our boat now.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Oh, Garrus didn't get decontaminated.
Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Oh.
This feels wrong. I'm ready.
Right. I would say this feels wrong is probably the right choice.
There's no right or wrong choice.
Alright, feels wrong then.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
That is a nice thing. That's an aggressive thing. None of them are wrong choices.
I need to be honest with him. Yeah.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit.
Good luck.
I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
Nice, middle of the line, aggressive.
Nice.
Humanity must do its part.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Saren will be ready for us. Eden Prime was just a start. Saren can't hide from us.
He'll be ready for us.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Everyone is counting on us.
Yeah.
We must not... Oh, okay.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Oh, good
Well
speech.
said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
I won't let him
Let him
down.
down.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
You got 4 Paragon points for doing that. We can look outside
Yeah.
and get a codex entry. And we can chat to our pilot.
Commander, something you need?
Status report.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet.
I just got brittle
Top
bones.
of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
He's having a rant.
He's got brittle bone disease that makes his bones break.
I didn't mean to insult you.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
And yet he fucks a robot in the 3rd game. How'd you get your nickname?
Yeah.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
Yeah, right, that's no answer.
Yeah, right.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Were you unhappy?
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Tell me about your disease.
Yeah.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
Let's change topics.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
So, personal history.
Yeah.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
And status report.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. Balance isn't what you... The Normandy's
And
probably
that's it.
too much ship for your average
I have to
Alliance.
go.
All right, see you.
Right, so.
We've got a ship to explore now. Look at my boat. My boat is amazing. We've got Navigator Presley.
Yep.
He's over here. Let's go poke Navigator Presley.
I'll give him a poke.
He dies in Mass Effect 2.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, you humans are all racist. They're on our side.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
He died.
Investigate, yeah.
Okay.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Never turn away help.
Yeah. Never turn away help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
Good man, that man.
Yeah.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
Console blows up in his face at the start of Mass Effect 2 and kills him instantly. Do you
spoiler,
remember that? Do
spoiler.
you remember that?
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
How did you end up assigned?
signed
That's it.
They had the numbers,
That's it.
but their
Carry
ship...
on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 Paragon for that.
And a codex entry.
We got the galaxy map. We're not going to look at the galaxy map just yet. Okay, door control here. Yeah, you will fucking salute me, sunshine. You'll get annoyed when they don't salute you in Mass Effect 2. Got the door control. We've got what's in here.
Lift.
That's
Oh,
the
no, that's
FTL.com
the-
link. This is the where we all talk about the things after each mission. They all, do you remember? They all sit in here
Yeah.
and go, "Oh, how are we going to catch up with him now?" And Hackett and Anderson will appear on there, and will. What have you done? Why did you kill the Rachni, etc.?
Teams meeting.
Yeah, like what you do.
Yeah. Alright.
This is my boat. Now we actually get to look around. There's the lift. Different layout than the SR2. I'm more used to the
Who we
SR2.
got
Right,
in there, then?
medbay's over here.
Who's in the med bay?
So Dr. Chakwas is in the medbay.
Ah, Dr. Chapman.
And I believe this is the... oh no. On the SR2, this is the AI core. In here, this is the surgical supply unit. Hey, Dr. Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Personal question?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
If you fuck up in Mass Effect 2, she gets liquefied in front of you while she screams in
Oh,
agony.
no.
It's horrendous.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers.
We've actually had this conversation.
If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoned.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Oh, what's that?
That's your free Medi-gel replenishment. Even though I still don't know what the button is. So Caden hangs out there.
Caden's over there.
Over here is the
You go and talk to Caden.
personnel manual. I should probably just mark all of that. You've read all of those a million times. Go talk to Caden. Hi, Caden.
Anything you need, Commander?
Looking for personal input, tactical appraisal.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
So you remember in the bit now. You do a mission, they say new stuff. You do a mission, they say no stuff. You're remembering it now.
Yeah.
Got some sleeper pods here.
Yeah.
In case anyone wants to nappy nap. That's the forward battery, ... question mark.
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
Well, you can't go there. Again, I have the SR2 layout memorized, not the SR1.
You
so
have another deck down, don't you, as well? Pretty sure there's another deck down. Or am I on the wrong one?
you're on the wrong one, but it's fine. It's fine. The Tempest only has one deck in Andromeda. It's actually kind of shit and disappointing. It's tiny. It's like 1/10 the size of this. And here's everyone hanging out.
Oh.
So there's the requisitions officer.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
I'm a Spectre.
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap.
I can kill you.
Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
That sounds like Final Fantasy 12 to me.
Yeah.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products.
We've got
I already
a few
have
of those.
several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
What are licenses?
Oh, we already asked that one. I meant
Many
to
of
say-
the best licenses are hard to
How
get.
often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
So they get rid of the rec officer in Mass Effect 2,
Yeah.
and then they give you a rec officer in Mass Effect 3, but he just gives you a terminal, and he's also your shuttle pilot, and you can romance him, and he's actually quite a cool character. If he'd shut up about his dead fucking husband for 1 second, right, we can get all kinds of things, but we have no money. We've got 6,000 credits. Like, we can't get anything good. We could buy the grenade upgrade, we'll buy that. And we'll get the that ups our tech cooldown. We don't really want to get that yet, because we can get better stuff. Hey Garrus, you're staring at the Mako. Look at the Mako. The Mako. The Mako.
Yeah, I know.
It's back.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander.
I didn't have a
knew
choice.
working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Well, we did have a choice. We could not recruit him if you wanted.
That's true.
You knew?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
Remember in Mass Effect 2 where he goes off on his own and gets his own squad and gets them all killed because he's not very good at being a leader?
Yeah.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape.
Draw a step closer
C6's
to the
handling
microphone.
Of Saren was typical.
Huh?
I just
What?
couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
It was a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
That depends.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
You think, oh
you
no.
put him in his box there.
I put him in his place, yeah, but don't forget, he gets all his dudes killed in Mass Effect 2 before you even meet him. And if you make him the fire team leader in Mass Effect 2, someone will die because he's a shit leader and he goes off on his own and snipes things. And he's ace and he's your best bro and he's a wicked sniper. Never give him any leadership either. He's a fucking general in Mass Effect 3 and he gives it up to go off and fly with you because he's shit at leading and being a dude. There's the ramp. We've got Ashley's over here.
Commander?
How are we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander.
Kinda wish you weren't
I
racist.
appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
We'd saved your unit.
Yeah.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Don't blame yourself.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Okay, can we talk?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
No one wants to talk yet because we haven't done anything.
Sir.
Yeah, but he's going around finding everything, isn't he?
As you can see, we can equip everyone here.
Yeah. I remember that bit. Oh, Rex. Go over where we're Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.
Be a shame
What
if I had
can
to kill
do
you.
for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on,
Yeah.
just a short one. Don't be
Come
an
on,
ass.
Come on.
I don't want to kill him. I really don't want to kill him.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
That's unfortunate.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It isn't?
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Whoa.
Okay.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject?
Yeah.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Mass Effect 2.
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that.
He can, provided you make the right decisions, Bobbert, and don't kill him this time, Bobbert. I don't want to have to deal with Reeve.
So long, Rex.
Reeve's a dick.
Shepard.
Reeve is literally a dick. Garrus, Ashley, Rack Officer, I'm guessing Tally's down here.
That's the engine room.
Yeah, she's in the engine room. Examine the field integrity monitor. There's Engineer Adams. Examine the ESO core. Get XP for doing all this. Alright, let's talk to Engineer Adams.
Yeah.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander. But I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Let's ask him questions.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
He refuses to join Cerberus in Mass Effect 2 because he refuses to believe that Shepard's still alive. He rejoins you in Mass Effect 3 and apologizes, and you can be like, nah, dude, I wouldn't sign up with Cerberus. And he's like, but you signed up with Cerberus. And you're like, yeah, but fuck those guys.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
This ship's special.
Yeah.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space.
Yep.
I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
You're into ships?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
That was 300 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly.
Mostly.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a
clever.
representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet
You're
as
going to
a
spend
whole.
a lot of time with the
On
Quarians in the
matters
next
that affect an individual
90
ship,
hours.
however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement.
This is a
among the
plot point
Admiralty.
in the second game.
And they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI.
Does this unit have a soul?
Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing
Where did
them
you learn that
closer
word?
and closer to true AI status.
Isn't that illegal?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious.
This is all bullshit, by the way.
But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation.
Oh, you fucking idiots.
We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first.
This is going to be a problem for all three games.
Went out across all Quarian controlled
They haven't watched Terminator, have they?
to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this.
Everything she said is bullshit.
They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I think that was everything, wasn't it? They killed their pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Sound dangerous? What's dangerous?
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
That's it.
I should go.
See you later.
And
God,
that's
that was
literally
a
it. That's the end of the session.
Download that one.